Well, thanks very much. And can I first of all thank everybody for coming. I think the whole remark share is going to come at 4 o'clock, and then we obviously want to hear what people have to say. And can I thank our speakers? I've very much enjoyed people's contributions. So what I wanted to do really is to set out why we've done the pamphlet and what we want to do as a result of the pamphlet's production. And in doing that, specifically raise some of the issues for the people we represent, which are the workers in the DWP, who do a variety of jobs, and to set out the case, if you like, for why we need a radical overhaul, not tinkering with the system. And therefore the pamphlet, I think quite rightly, charts the beginning of the massive cuts in social security provision in the Thatcher years, but actually then was a fairly seamless move right throughout up to date with a political consensus that was acknowledging some of the points that Polly's made about some of the good stuff that we never did. I think what the pamphlet draws out is, despite some of the good stuff, the rhetoric that they like to be associated, it was still much of the same old demonisation, and that I think they weren't bold enough to actually be proud of what they were doing. They always had to cover it up with gratuitous attacks on the poorest people. And I think that what we're seeking to say here is not to compare New Labour with Margaret Thatcher, but to actually talk about why we've had this journey from 1980 through until now with the election of, the election of a radical Labour leadership and hopefully a radical Labour government. And therefore the pamphlet doesn't seek to set out all the answers, and I think it recognises that on universal basic income, the PCS position is, there needs to be a very thorough debate about what that system is. There are undoubtedly many, many positive points about universal basic income, but there are undoubtedly drawbacks as well. And it's notable that some of these advocates are some of the most right-wing libertarians who you'll see around the world who have a certain vision, and there is a left-wing version of it, both of which I think mean our job has to be to have a very detailed analysis of where and how that could play a part. But I want to really say that the production of the pamphlet, and I want to thank the PCS staff and our lay reps in the DWP, Seamus and Laurie, Fran, you and some of the GC members, because what we try to do here is have a serious goal at tapping into an opportunity of a lifetime, which is if we have a general election with Jeremy Corbyn and John and a radical Labour government, this is the moment to seek to reverse the tide of what we've seen over the last 40 years and give us a social security system that we can be proud of. So if I can start with an anecdote, the pamphlet in many ways I think is supported by this anecdote. So I started work at 16 in the DHS office in a South Wales mining village. And on my first day at work, my supervisor took me to one side and she said, whilst you're here, you must remember that every minute of the day you're here, your number one priority is to help the people who come through this door and do whatever you can to ensure they get the help and support you need. You fast forward to the situation we now live in, and we routinely see management reminding the staff who work in the DWP that their job is to reduce footfall, not have people in without appointments, direct people to telephone lines. And we have a system that is built on a foundation I think is completely opposite. It is not about ensuring the support and the personal support goes to those who need it. It is actually a system that now sets up almost a division between those who work in Job Centre Plus and the DWP and those people who have to use its services. And that division, I think, has been deliberately manufactured by politicians and austerity to actually set up them and us. And it means for our members, and I think it's important to say this, some of the hardest working, most dedicated public servants that you'll find are doing some of the hardest jobs, because it is demoralising in the extreme. You can go to work and all the things that are talked about are sanctions and about, as we saw in Daniel Blake, you know, the reasons why you can't give the support that you would want to give to people whose core instinct is to be there to help. And what this pamphlet tries to do is to draw out how we got to where we got. Because we found as a union, on behalf of our members, that we found much of the last 30 years, we focused in opposing this cut and that cut, and we opposed all of them, going right back to Norman Fowler and the stuff that Margaret Thatcher and Geoffrey Howe came up with as we detailed in the pamphlet. But we clocked that A, you could oppose individual cuts, but when you actually stand back now and look at what we've got now compared to where we were, you'll see that the system we have is completely and utterly the opposite of the one we had. And I don't just mean because in those days you could claim benefits at 16 if you were a student, you could claim when it wasn't term time that people could get housing benefit and all the support, you had grants instead of loans. The whole ethos of the system was one at least based on the Beveridge principles of we are here to offer support for people in time of need, to one that is now about administering the bare necessities and actually being seen about more being punitive than being supportive. And I don't think that's happened quite fully. And what we try to say in the pamphlet is that the obsession with conditionality, with assuming the worst, with about making it as hard as possible to navigate a system, doesn't help anyone other than those who want to actually not spend the money where it needs to go. And I think that's why the pamphlet tries to focus on what we believe has been a political drift that we now want to challenge. And we therefore say that the fundamental radical change we need is a system that is there to support all people when they need it at levels of support that is not subsistence levels, but is levels of support that people should have in the fifth or sixth richest economy. And I think if we try to say we have that system to every dot and comma, we will be foolish. But what we recognise is the people who work in the system, the people who claim within the system, must be part of the debate to ensure that the radical change we want provides for people in a changing world. I think that means recognising that this is not the 1960s or 1970s. We have an economy now that is very, very different, but that the principle is right. Then you can design a system that can help and support people. And I think it therefore is right to point out that a lot is said about in-work benefits, but what the TUC constantly makes the point is that poverty exists overwhelmingly in households where somebody is at work. But the low level of wages means that in-house poverty is a real issue. 40% of members of DWP who work for the DWP are entitled to claim in-work benefits. So it is a radical overhaul that we need, not a sticking plaster. And I think that's the thing that, first of all, we want to make a case for. So it was music to our ears, or ears as you probably say here, that Labour at its last conference committed to a fundamental review of the system. And I think we felt that was long overdue. We welcomed very much Margaret Greenwood's speech, and we very much welcome the commitment to work with the people in this room to absolutely get this right. But in therefore saying that, I think it is important to understand that you have to have a political change to the environment in which we have this debate. So we do spend some time in the pamphlet, and I just want to say a few things about challenging the demonisation and division, because if we don't do that, then actually we'll never get the type of debate that we want. And one of the things that we point out in the pamphlet is at the moment, if you ask the public perception of benefit fraud at the moment, independent pollsters tell us, is that they think 27% of all benefit claims are fraudulent. That's the public perception. The reality, if anybody's looked at it, it is less than 1%. Now that public perception doesn't come out of nowhere. It comes after we have had years of talking about shirkers, and we've had scroungers and benefit claimants. And I think Polly's absolutely right to raise the fact that at the moment we've done, you turn the telly on and you see poverty porn on the telly. You see a series of programs, such as Can't Pay, Take It Away, Benefits, Breaking Life on the Go, where actually people are being entertained by the unfortunate situation that people live in. And there's this entertainment industry that is being born out of it. So we say we have to knock on the head this idea of demonisation division and start from the type of provision that we as a nation want to see. And that means actually asking ourselves this question about government priorities, not just in terms of the debate about demonisation. The government currently employs in DWP 4,000 staff who work on benefit fraud, right, or benefit fraud related work. In HMRC there are currently fewer than 500 staff employed on looking after the tax affairs of the richest and actually chasing down tax fraud. Now that tells us everything we think we need to know about the prioritisation we've seen. Benefit fraud is usually pennies and pounds and pence, and it is people who are struggling to do some of the most basic things. Tax evasion and tax fraud and people dodging the system, we are talking about billions of pounds. And I think the priority that sees one as more of a focus about where you put your resource than the other also is something that needs to be challenged. So for us, and the reason we've done the pamphlet, and where I really wanted to draw to a conclusion is this, that we are going to send this out high, wide and handsome. We're going to send it to every constituency Labour Party. We're going to be sending it out to every campaign group. We're going to be sending it out to journalists and to academics, because what we're seeking to provoke is an informed debate of people who care about a social security system fit for 2019 and 2020 that is a radical departure from what we've had. We are upfront in saying that means we must invest in far bigger resources in DWP. We need more staff, not less. We don't need offices closing, we need more offices accessible to the community in which we seek to serve, and not sort of people being forced out of their local community. We want a system that is hard. It's not just one based on compassion, but one that recognises nothing replaces face-to-face contact and professional support from somebody who's a state employee, not employed by a private company who have other motives about making profits, but staff who are there to help the person who comes in front of them, whatever that takes. That is a totally different emphasis. As Polly has said, and we have said, people who have pressure on to deliver targets, people whose jobs are often vulnerable, who work in a very difficult management regime in the DWP, as John has mentioned. And that is why we value the work we've done with the unemployed workers centres, with PPAC, with people who have campaigned around these issues for years, because we want to have a united approach that doesn't fall to the divisions that are fostered by others, that are genuinely about finding the type of social security system that we need for the future. My last point is that we don't, I think, underestimate. This will cost a lot of money. This will require a political priority that says a social security system fit for purpose must be one of the priorities of an incoming Labour government. And many people will look to what happens here early doors for the simple reason that people's suffering is an everyday occurrence. And that must be something that we tackle. And that's really why we're having this event here, Fran, and we're hoping now to do meetings around the country. It's because we want people to come who've experienced the system, who deliver the system, and who are genuinely committed to not just a radical change in social security, but as John's mentioned, a radically different society that actually does see social security is not an island on its own. It fits in a society that has far greater inequality, far more people being able to access secure jobs with decent rates of pay, and fundamentally a social security system that gives provision for everybody. So I want to finish by thanking everybody, by paying especially tribute, I think, to our members who have helped with all the work that we've done, who work in very difficult circumstances, and thanks to the speakers here, who I think have a range of important opinions moving forward. But we believe that in a world that I understand why has been dominated by Brexit, it seems, for every waking minute of every single day for far too long to remember, is I think what today's event is to say that there's a real reminder. Yes, Brexit's important, but the chaos of the universal credit, the suffering and poverty of people dying of homelessness, and people who are committing suicide because of the pressures of the benefit system, that is an urgent issue. One I think we can all accept is about basic humanity. And our union wants to be very much part of that discussion with the Labour Party and others. And I think if we get it right, history will remember what we're trying to do here, but it is an urgent matter, and that's why all views I think are so important.
Okay, thank you.